Yeah, especially after his match with Koha. Looks like Blink took the first match of the game between these two. Daniel, you actually played with Blink before this match began. What do you think? Do you think he's prepared for Wendy's 4 wide? Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I was talking to him on Skype, and he said that you were really helping him with his timing, and that's really pivotal when he's facing against WendyLoL. Um, Not so much at the beginning of the match if WendyLoL uses his 4 wide, though, because I think the back-to-back strategy he's going with was inspired by Carolyn. Uh, mhm, mhm. It also helps that I'm finding WendyLoW misdrops a lot more than he usually does, but his speed does help, but I think it's giving Blink too many opportunities to spike him out. Hmm. Yeah, just like what he did right there. WendyLoW is sending him way too much clean garbage at the moment, and then he's getting toppled over by it. Not only because of the garbage that's being sent over to him, but because he's misdropping at the same time. And at the moment, the score is 3-0 for Blink. Ooh. Hmm. It looks like WendyLo's cleaning up his game a little bit. He's definitely misdropping a lot less. Ooh, spoke too soon. Yeah. I think we should take a little break right here because on the shout box, I think some people can't hear you, Daniel.
Oh, I just fixed that. My bad.
Okay.
I keep forgetting because sometimes I turn the mic off because other people are commentating.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was sorry about that, everyone.
Okay. It looks like Blink is going for a T-spin double opener while WendyLo is going with his usual opener. Um,
It's
Nothing to
actually
it.
quite interesting because WendyLoL did say that he wouldn't use the 4 wide in the tournament, and it appears that he still hasn't yet, even though he knows that it might be effective in this situation since Blink is gaining a lot of momentum.
Hmm. I was watching Wendy Lo and Blink. They actually had a pre-game sort of match, and it looked like Blink was doing pretty well against the 4 wide. So that might be why Wendy Lo is so hesitant to using that against Blink at the moment. He knows that if he wants to pull it off, then he needs the right bag, and I guess he's just not confident enough to use it yet.
And if he messes up the 4 wide, he puts himself in a very bad position because he doesn't have any lines on his screen to block Blink's incoming spikes with.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And
that
he really
might.
needs to fix those misdrops before he wants to go for any big moves like that. I think part of the mistrust might be because he's a little intimidated by Blink based on their history. Because I think in the last two tournaments, Blink actually knocked WendyLoL out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember in Tetris Tournament Online 2, Blink actually beat WendyLoL 15-6. So that was
Hmm.
actually kind of one-sided. So I'm pretty sure he's nervous. And Blink is on a 7-game win streak right now. So that definitely isn't very encouraging, even though the score is 5-0.
Yeah, I think WendyLoL needs to really get a hold of his nerves because I remember when I was talking to Blink, given the amount of experience he's had from his previous tournaments, apparently he doesn't get nervous anymore, and that's going to really help him in this. He's definitely got more experience, and WendyLoL really needs to get it together if he wants a chance in this match against Blink.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually a very real edge to have in this sort of situation because if you're not nervous, that not only reduces your misdrops, but it keeps your mind focused and you're able to play at your best. Versus if you are nervous, you might not be making the decisions that you might make if you were just playing a casual game.
Yeah, especially when you're in a panic situation like that, the choices that you make might not be as sound as they were if you were thinking rationally.
And it seems like both players now are in pretty good positions. We'll see what happens soon. Blink's probably gonna start creating spikes and timing his attacks, so we'll
Hmm.
see if Wendy can adjust to that.
You can tell Wendy is he's getting a little more comfortable because he's doing a lot more back to backs. He's doing less misdrops, and you only notice Swiss cheese garbage going around when either one of them misdrops. Usually it's WendyLoL because of his misdrops, and he uses those to send over Swiss cheese garbage to Blink, and then it just goes back and forth from there.
Yeah, neither of these players actually actively integrates combos other than Wendy Law's opening 4 wide. So most of the garbage that's going to be tossed around is going to be quite clean. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that until someone misdrops, and then the ensuing down stack combo is going to cause a lot of messy garbage to be tossed around.
Hmm.
And I think the nerves are really getting to him because Link now has a 6-0 lead in the match.
Yeah, that's really not great because it's looking really one-sided right now, and when they were actually practicing or having a practice match before their tournament match, Lapsy actually gave him a pretty good run for his money. I believe the score was 15-10.
Yeah, it was actually pretty close, and he was taking a lot of games with this 4 wide. Well, not a
Hmm.
lot, but he was taking a decent amount. So I'm actually still surprised that he hasn't pulled it out yet.
Yeah, I think right now Lapsy or WendyLow really needs to solidify his defensive abilities because he's sending way too much clean garbage over to Blink, and that's hurting him in the long run, especially with all the misdrops that he's doing. Like right there with the O piece, he was able to turn it into a T-spin double though. Um,
He
like
was
what I was
actually
saying,
about to top Blink out earlier in that match, but
yeah.
Blink got out of it, and then since he was in such a rush to send mines over to Blink, he made his own misdrop, and then Blink sent all of that clean garbage right back to him and took
Hmm.
the match, and he does have a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, it looks like the back-to-back strategy isn't really working in WendyLoW's favor right now. Blink is just too good of a downstacker. I think he's probably one of the best downstackers in North America, actually.
Yeah, I looked at his block box dig challenge time, and I think it's one of the top 3 times overall. So that's
Yeah, a
just
couple of
really
years ago,
impressive.
he had the top time. I think it was 10 seconds that he got from the top of the screen to the bottom. That was until Apocalypse went and became the dominating factor
Yeah,
in block box.
Apocalypse really just took over the down stacking king title.
Hmm.
Seems
Oh,
like
look.
Blink has quite a mess on his side, and if
Yeah.
Wendy can take advantage of this, he might be able to get his first win.
Hmm. And if you'll notice, it's like what I was saying before. There's a lot of messy garbage right now, and if you notice, that's a result of all the misdrops that both players were having over on their field. And it looks like WendyLow made it on the scoreboard. The score is now 7-1 for
Yeah,
Blink.
Blink had a really nasty Z misdrop in that game, and he couldn't slide his eyepiece in, so that pretty much sealed the deal since he had a big hole that he needed to drop his Tetris through. Seems
Looks
like
like,
WendyLoL's pulling out the C spin quite a lot.
yeah. I think he's having a little trouble adapting. Maybe he doesn't see that it's not working against Blink because back to backs on their own aren't going to work against Blink. You need to mix it up with combos. You really need to be versatile against someone like Blink, who's had extensive experience in the competitive scene of Tetris.
And especially because it doesn't seem like WendyLoL's timing his back-to-backs very well. That's going to be quite problematic because Blink can
Yeah,
basically choose when he wants to accept or block WendyLoL's garbage, and then that gets him in a lot more favorable situations, and he can take advantage of those situations and spike WendyLoL out when he misdrops, which happens actually quite frequently for this match.
yeah. A lot of the advantages that Blink has, it's subsidized by the fact that WendyLoL is so much faster than him. But at the same time, WendyLoL is crippled by the fact that he doesn't time at all, and that's really going to hurt him in the long run. If you don't time in TetrisFriends, then you could easily get toppled over.
That is so true. Oh gosh, Blink misdropped that eyepiece and that cost him the game. Misdropping eyepieces, that's just about the worst thing that can happen to you, especially if it's one column away from your Tetris hole.
Yeah, it looks like both players are actually losing a majority of their matches, mainly based on their misdrops. We've yet to see a game go into hurry up garbage, but I can easily see that happening as long as both players clean up their game and really focus, um, trying to prevent the misdrops from happening.
Yeah, that's true. Since a lot of the garbage that's being shoveled around is very clean, that also might be a reason that there hasn't been a hurry up garbage game. And since both players are misdropping quite frequently in comparison to their normal misdrop rate,
Yeah.
whenever you misdrop and your opponent has a bunch of clean garbage, then you pretty much lose the game.
hmm but while back-to-back strategies like these two are using right now, they do send a lot. It's really easy to downstack through, and I can easily see them going through to a hurry-up match and getting 200 lines, which is a really big milestone.
Seems like Blink picked up yet another win.
hmm He's really gaining the momentum right now, and I know for a fact that he was actually a little scared of WendyLoL at the beginning of this match or before this match.
I
He's been
think
preparing for him
Yeah, I
for
think
quite
he
some
was
time now.
mainly scared of the four wide, but I haven't seen the four wide been used yet, and it's been 10
Yeah,
games.
there is that psychological advantage of the four wide because not a lot of people actually use it in competitive Tetris, especially North Americans. Typically, back to backs, the strategy of back to backs are used, and um, it's very uncommon to see that in a competitive match.
Yeah,
So
and
I,
WendyLoL had a nasty misdrop there, and that cost him the game. I don't know though, because he needs to really do something different to turn this set around, or else it's probably going to be quite one-sided at the end.
mhm. I definitely think that Blink is the more adaptive player of the two. He can adapt to certain situations, and on the flip side, though, it looks like WendyLoL he's sticking to his own strategy, but it's effective. But I don't think it's as effective as it could be because he keeps misdropping in the process, and that really slows him down, despite the fact that he's one of the fastest players on TetrisFriends.
Yeah, that's so true. His strategy of spamming back to backs is only effective if he doesn't misdrop. If he misdrops, he pretty much can't spam anymore because he has to spend time cleaning up his misdrops. And since Blink is a timer, he's going to take advantage of that and try to spike him out during that time period.
Yeah, especially since the garbage WendyLoL is sending over is so clean that by the time that he misdrops, he'll have given Blink far too much clean garbage to work with and not enough pressure to top him out. And then Blink will be able to downstack through and take the advantage.
Ooh, that was actually a pretty big spike by WendyLoL. And
Yeah, it's really good too because there's a mixture of Swiss cheese garbage in there too, and that's going to complicate things for Blink.
I think Blink can get out of it. Oh, that
Oh,
I
and there's the eye
misdrop.
misdrop.
Yeah.
Oh, he was able to get another eyepiece though, for the down
Yeah,
stack.
Blink is actually known to hold his eyepieces, so even if he misdrops his eye, he might have another eye in his hold. And now WendyLoL has all the Swiss cheese garbage that he has to deal with, and Blink is setting up for a pretty big spike. But unfortunately, he misdropped. So I guess both players are going to be in safe positions shortly.
Yeah, it looks like WendyLoL is actually doing a pretty good job down stacking. Before this match, I would have questioned his down stacking abilities, but it looks pretty solid at the moment.
Yeah, WendyLoL's actually an underrated down stacker. He's actually quite good at it.
Hmm. I
It's
think part of that might be because of his speed too.
Yeah, being fast just helps you a lot with down stacking.
Hmm. It does hurt him a lot that he doesn't time his down stack though, because if Blink is going for is stacking up for a spike, and WendyLoL is using up all his canceling ammo to try to get back to the bottom, he's going to be sent right back to the top, and that's not very good for in the long run of the game.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like he integrates that many T-spins into his down stack, which can be useful for blocking incoming garbage. It seems like he
Hmm.
just blitzes through the messy garbage, and then since Blink watches his screen so actively, he's going to be trying to spike him out as fast as possible.
Hmm.
And just like that, Blink takes another round because of his misdrops.
And someone in the shout box asked if WendyLoL is in fact a guy, and yes, just to clarify, he is a guy.
And Blink has an 11-2 lead. I actually wasn't expecting it to be this one-sided, but
Yeah, I think the predictions were actually pretty mixed. Some of them were questioning Blink's ability to play now. I think it was because he was on hiatus from Tetris for so long that um, they had a little bit of doubts about him, and because WendyLoW was playing so strongly against Koha, I think they thought that he had a chance against Blink. But at the moment, it's really one-sided, and WendyLoW really needs to try something new because his usual tactics aren't working right now.
yeah, I really would like to see him try the four wide because at this point it's just almost hopeless.
Hmm. And going for the back-to-back tactics again. Blink as well. Looks like he misdropped that eyepiece, but he does have an eyepiece in the hold and is able to downstack through that. Oh, another misdrop by Blink.
Ooh, I think Wendy might be able to capitalize on this, especially
Yeah.
because he put an eyepiece above his garbage hole, so that'll take
Hmm.
him a lot of time to.
Oh, if
Well,
he gets an eyepiece, he can get through this.
wow, I'm so surprised that Wendy Lal didn't kill him during that time, cause like
I think part of that is because he doesn't. Oh, okay. He's still got the win, but I think part of that was because he doesn't screen watch, and not only that, he doesn't time his attacks, and that's really gonna hurt him. He could have took that match much more quickly if he saw, because he actually had a pretty big spike set up.
Yeah, that was just I was just wondering because like Blink was stuck at the top in a very awkward position with multiple misdrops for several seconds, and he was still alive.
Hmm. It just goes to show how much time you're giving your opponents if you're not timing your attacks. I know a lot of people think that players like Subversive, who has massive APMs, are really great players. But if you don't time your attacks, it really means nothing, because I remember at one point Subversive actually played Blink, and Blink beat him 15-9. So timing is really more important than APM. If you don't know how to use it, then that can really hurt you.
Yeah, Subversive's APM and speed are actually both greater than Blink's, but yet Blink was able to get a quite a dominating win. 15-9 isn't very close. So it just
Mhm.
shows you how much timing can do.
Looks like there's a lot of messy garbage on both players' side, but it doesn't look like
Seems like
anyone's really.
Blink might be able to get through his garbage faster, but he made his own misdrop.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always looking at WendyLoL's side, and his misdrops are really interesting. They make such intricate patterns. Oh no. He's
They
about
make
to. Yeah, it's just really interesting misdrops. It's the kind of misdrops where I just question how does he make such misdrops, and I think part of it is because he's playing so fast that he's getting a little confused with the finesse and the muscle movements of the pieces, and that really messes him up and makes the piece go where it wasn't intended to go.
and he still has not tried the 4 wide yet.
Hmm.
It's 13-3. If Blink keeps this up, he might win the next 2 games.
Yeah, he's WendyLoL right now.
He's
He's
still
behind
sticking
by
with his C
10.
spin,
Hmm.
and quite a few times actually, Blink won in the opening 30 seconds because he was able to take advantage of all the clean garbage that WendyLoL sent.
Yeah, it looks like he's keeping to his statement that he wasn't going to use the 4 wide against Blink. I think it's worth a try though at this point because at this point, if you don't try something new and just stick with your old tactics, the ones that aren't working, then your opponent is going to adapt to it and really take advantage of it.
Yeah, Blink's already figured out how to beat what WendyLoL's doing, so he really needs to try something new.
Hmm. And the thing about Blink is the reason the 4 wide scared him so much was because he's so good at facing players with back-to-back tactics that the 4 wide really throws him off because he doesn't see many people using it against him. A lot of players who used 4 wides in the past against him, they actually lost against him.
Yeah, mostly because they weren't fast enough to stack through
Hmm.
it and get a large enough combo. But WendyLoL, on the other hand, he's the fourth fastest player in the world, so he
Yeah.
definitely has the speed to stack up a decently sized 4 wide.
Hmm. You really have to use the 4 wide correctly, though. But I remember in one tournament, Blink was actually facing Kotetsu, I think, and he used the middle 4 wide against him, and actually got, I think, 6 or 7 games off of Blink from that. Oh, it looks
Yeah,
like WendyLoL actually got another victory. So the score is 13-4 for Blink right now.
I think Kotetsu, or he's more commonly known as Secret Salamander. He was the pioneer of the center 4 wide.
Hmm.
But WendyLoL, he usually uses the side 4 wide, which has some disadvantages in that he can't really accept a lot of clean garbage in the beginning.
I think he's really just hoping for a quick spike with the 4 wide because I was talking to Jixu and she said that WendyLoL does know how to middle 4 wide actually. Oh, it looks like WendyLoL is actually switching up his strategy. He went for a T-spin double into a small 2 wide.
It didn't seem like he managed to chain that into a big enough combo though because he misdropped. And
Hmm.
if your combos aren't big, then they're pretty much ineffective because most likely your opponent's just gonna block them with T-spins and Tetrises.
While it is ineffective, I think it's still pretty beneficial to use tactics like that because it does build your momentum for the rest of the game as long as you don't miss drop.
Yeah, that's true. And switching things up, it keeps your opponent like off guard and stuff. If you're doing the
Hmm.
same thing over and over, then your opponent's just gonna do the same strategy that he can use to beat that strategy.
Hmm. It's like pushing the same point that doesn't hurt and hoping you'll find a cure for it.
Seems like Blink has tons of clean garbage on his side of the screen. Oh, and
Yeah,
WendyLoL's
that's.
doing the 4 wide.
Oh, this has been the long-awaited 4 wide everyone was talking about. They were
What?
wondering how WendyLow would do against Blink because of this 4 wide.
Yeah, a lot of people actually thought WendyLoL would win because of the 4 wide, but now
Yeah.
I think it's match point now.
Hmm.
We still haven't seen him open with the 4 wide. That's when it's especially deadly, because at that time Blink doesn't wouldn't have anything on his side of the screen to counter it with. He'd have to stack everything from scratch.
Yeah. And to answer Willie Triss's question, whether commentators are looking at Twitch TV stream chat, no, we are not. Uh, I'm simultaneously looking at the hard drop chat, seeing if anybody has any concerns or if the stream is still up.
I actually can't look at any chats because then the stream gets messed up.
Yeah.
I just have to stay on the game. And this is match point, so if Blink wins this game, he wins the entire set. And if he does, then unfortunately we won't have, like, we'll have missed out on WendyLoL's 4 wide open.
Mm-hmm. Not to take anything away from Blink, he's a fantastic player and he's played a really fantastic game here. He's been the dominating player in this match so far, 14-4. Oh, it looks like WendyLoL actually pulled out another victory, and there's another chance for us to see if he decides to 4 wide or not.
I'm actually gonna. Nah, I was gonna actually type in the chat, try 4 wide. I wanted to see him try it once.
I'm sure everyone is, because now the questions are going to arise whether or not WendyLoL, if he did in fact use the 4 wide, whether he would win or not. Oh no, it looks like he's going back to his back-to-back plan.
I actually think even if he used it, like, the score disparity is so large right now that I don't think it would have made, like, it might have made a difference in the score, but I still think Blink would have won.
Mm-hmm. It would have made a more respectable score, and I definitely do think that the road would have been incredibly rough for WendyLoL if he went with the 4. Oh no, those missed drops are going to hurt him. And this, I think it's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
That will be game.
So the score is 15-5 for Blink. Good games.
Yep.